Terence Crawford trainer warns Errol Spence. He says the outcome will be the same and warns him not really to push the button and trigger the rematch clause. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Terence Crawford, Errol Spence. It says Crawford's trainer warns Spence about activating that rematch clause. So he's working with Chris Eubank, who's fighting this weekend. And in an interview with Fight Hub TV, he says, quote, I don't know if it's going to be at 154 pounds or 147 pounds, but I'm pretty sure he's going to push the weight up. But there's not going to be no change in the decision. So he's saying he's confident that Crawford will two-peat against Errol Spence. He says the performance is still going to be the same with Crawford. It might even be a little bit better, so Errol Spence might want to watch out before he activates that rematch clause, end quote. So BoMac thinks the same thing is going to happen regardless of the weight. I've heard other people suggest that. As of me recording the video, there is no official confirmed report announcing what Errol Spence will or won't do regarding the rematch clause, so we can only speculate. I mean, my thoughts, I think it's Errol put himself in a bad position, and that's just being real. Put himself in a bad position, not just because he lost, it's how he lost. He lost in a definitive, decided, dominated fashion. And before that, I think he lost before the fight had already started. If he was having issues making weight, which it clearly looks like there was some legs to that, like the weight cut is hard for him, at this point, age 33. If that was the case, you have to know your body enough and to know that these dry spells of inactivity for various reasons, the car crash, detached retina, negotiations, fender benders, whatever, right? These various things have caused you to be out of the ring for a considerable amount of time. So with that being said, you have to know your body and to know when to call it quits. And I think Errol Spence's team was pushing to move beyond the Terence Crawford fight when Crawford had a bunch of demands, and these demands weren't easily met. And Errol Spence was insistent, like, nah, man down, strap season. I took all these other belts and now I'm going to take your ish. And, basic fighter pride and fighter ego. He kind of stuck to his word, but almost to a fault, because he negotiated himself out of a leveraged position that he had earned over the years, right? He was the A side. There was no questioning that. This was his home network. And even Terence Crawford said in interviews post-fight that Errol Spence gave up a lot to make it happen. Even immediately after the fight, when they're both in the ring, Errol said something like busted up. He said something like, we made history, or whatever the case is. And he was like, yeah, you made this happen, blah, blah, blah. Because I think Terence Crawford had all these demands that he wanted, and there was no guarantee that they would get met. So it proves that Errol Spence is who he says he is and really wanted to make the fight, because if he didn't, he could have easily moved on and said, hey, bump this. I did most of the work at the welterweight division. I got the 3 belts. Now I'm moving on because we can't get this done. I'm fighting Keith Thurman. But instead, he didn't do that. He instead fought the fight that everybody wanted to see, but to a fault, because now he's in a position where it's kind of do or die. You lost bad, and if you take that type of punishment back to back, then that could be very bad for your career. We've seen it with other fighters like David Price. He said the Tony Thompson fight was a fluke. So you rematch Tony Thompson and the same thing happened. It's hard to say it's a fluke. We were going to have Anthony Joshua versus Dillian White. So that would have been bad for White if he got knocked out the same way he got knocked out in the first fight, because you can't at that point claim you're better than Joshua if you keep getting knocked out every time you face him. So Errol is in a dangerous position. The fighter in him is going to want to say, nah, I could do better. I can run it. But he put himself in a position. He gave Crawford a lot of confidence by having the fight play out like that. I mean, everything worked out in Crawford's favor. Came out to Eminem. He came out to Marshall. Had the performance of a lifetime. Did everything that he was supposed to do. And Errol Spence, it was like the worst night in the office for him. So if you push the immediate rematch, How much, after taking psychological punishment and having such a flat performance, how much can you improve in a matter of months? That would be the question. Let me know what you guys think. YouTube will have some videos at the end of this video that you may be interested in. I do think Errol Spence put himself in a difficult position, and most of it was before the fight night by giving up so much ground, as I keep mentioning, in the negotiating, because he could have easily moved up in weight, gave himself the break, or said, hey, I'll fight you, Crawford, but I can't make 47 no more. But he agreed to the weight. Crawford agreed to the weight. They both made the weight, but one person seemed like they were able to recover and replenish in that 24 hours a lot better, and that was obviously Crawford. Let me know how I did in this video. Check out some of the other videos that pop up on the screen, and I'm out. Introducing Super Thanks. Right here on the official Boxingego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with the $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new, interactive, and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation.